when you do that. And in fact, if I don't warn you, in fact, the people that show you the greatest disrespect are the people who, knowing that's there, will not tell you, will not warn you. At least when you look back, if what this has said, and you stand before God someday to be judged for the deeds you did in the body, you're not going to be able to say, he didn't tell me. In fact, he told me it would be a good thing to hold these beliefs and engage in these activities. And so you're not going to be able to say that to me and to any other faithful Christian that stands firm on these issues. God will judge, and he will judge righteously. He will judge perfectly, but his standard is his own perfection. His standard is the very perfection that caused Isaiah, one of the most holy men in Israel, upon seeing him to say, "Woe is me, I'm undone, I'm a man of unclean lips, and I live amongst people of unclean lips." As soon as you see the holiness of God, every single pretense of self-righteousness will vanish instantly, evaporate, absolutely evaporate. So, what do we do now? Well, I know of at least 2 books coming out. I didn't get a chance to, I hope to get a chance to read the second one pretty soon. But there are 2 books coming out by 2 men, one of whom I know very well, one of whom I have not had the opportunity of meeting but respect greatly, which will probably both be out within a matter of weeks. I've already told you about Michael Brown's book. Albert Mohler has a book coming out as well. And I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I will be reading it. Thank you very much for that opportunity of doing so. But there will be others. Those 2 are going to be helpful. Many of the others that are going to come out will be triumphalistic and will be a part of the tsunami that I've been telling you about for a long time of utter compromise and collapse. It's time to move on. This isn't a hill to die on. If we want to be relevant, this is where our society is, then we need to move on, which means that's a part of God's truth that we won't talk about anymore. That's a part of God's truth that we will be embarrassed about. That is a part of God's truth that we will say. We'll come up with a way around it. And there's all sorts of books already out there that will allow people to do that. And the pressure, it's one thing right now. I'm talking to people right now. There are people watching this broadcast right now. I saw Armin over in the cool climes of a certain Scandinavian country. Posted a picture of the feed on a big honkin' big screen there, which is sort of scary. But especially since you've switched to this close view, you can go back and forth. The other view, has the lava lamp and stuff, and so you don't want to just stay with there. You got it's much better. Right? There will be flowers in this shot within a couple weeks. I fell in love with a flower. You saw the flowers. Those things are gorgeous. I found a source of dried ones.
I don't think that can survive down here, can it?
No, these are dried.
Oh, okay.
I found some dry. I found a place where I could buy some dried ones.
Okay, so you're going to bring old dead flowers in. Okay,
yep.
I got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. But I ran those are the most beautiful things I had seen, and here I am climbing Guardsman Pass, and I stopped and got off my bike, got my phone out, and because they were just gorgeous, just gorgeous. But anyways, so thank you for getting off of the tight shot, which makes me nervous. Anyway, what was I talking about? There are people watching this webcast right now. They're sitting there going, "All right, yeah, yeah." 5 years from now, you will not be watching this, if it's even still on. 5 years from now, you'll probably be supportive of the suppression of our right to say the things I'm saying right now. And it won't be because of any radical thing in your life, it will be because of the regular, everyday pressure of standing firm on these issues. That's the far more effective way of changing how Christians view things. Is, well, you guys will become irrelevant. We can never become irrelevant, my friend. Christ died for his church. That's the most relevant thing in the world. What's irrelevant is every state and nation that passes away because it doesn't bow the knee to Christ. I mean, if you can buy that kind of stuff, you don't have a Christian worldview. You don't think biblically. You're not even on the same page. Anyway, that sermon was for free. There will be many who will not be standing and applauding any discussion of this subject. But it's just going to take some time. Right now, woohoo! I'll never give in. But when it's the daily grind, it's the I can't get a job, I can't advance in my job, etc., when that becomes the regular experience, you'll see changes. You'll see changes.
I was going to say, you want to talk about becoming irrelevant. I'm sure that they may have said things like that to Nero. I'm sure Rome fell. You can go through history, and yet the Christian church, the Lord has seen fit to shine the light in the darkness, and if what's relevant is the darkness, we're not going to become irrelevant because we're going to continue to illumine the darkness.
Yeah, relevancy is determined by ultimate authorities. And if your ultimate authority, well, for a lot of people it is the number of people you have coming to your church and so on and so forth. If you don't see that the church very often is a small minority, it's the light in the midst of the darkness, but it's the apple of God's eye. It is the very object of Christ's redemptive love. He dies to redeem his people, his bride. If you don't see that that's what's important in God's perspective, then you pretty much have a secular worldview that you've blathered some religiosity on. We more than ever need to be exposing ourselves purposefully and knowingly to the Word of God, seeking to have it to conform our ways of thought to his way of thought, more than ever before. Because it was one thing for us to exalt